Hello. So it was cold outside, so I stayed inside today. Especially before new moons and full moons. It's my favorite time to connect inward. I ended up reprioritizing my life to be one of inward perspective, to start finding a harmony, an inner harmony, I should say. And there are times when we're more sensitive. I went to this place that showed cycles, by elements, by ages, by life cycles. Like traditional Chinese medicine is a different viewpoint than I had before. And I found it interesting because I've always been interested in the patterns of life. And I came across this tarot card today. It's one of the Buddha ones. And it's number 6. 6 is a particular favorite number of mine. But healing and longevity. One should strive to understand what underlies suffering and disease is. One should strive to understand what underlies suffering and diseases. One should strive to understand what underlines suffering and diseases, the Buddha. So anyways, I pulled that card, and then I pulled 40. 4s are another particular favorite of mine. I only offer up 4s with, loving kindness. So let me read this one to you. Loving kindness aloft. May all beings have a happy mind, the Buddha. And I was thinking about new moon energies, full moon energies, and I was kind of thinking about this YouTube presence platform thing, and I got quite a bit of good feedback about the Leo video, and all beings may have happy minds. It's making me think of the new moon energy and the new energies with new moon magic. What you're looking at putting your focus to the feel and the vibration of the world you want to pull towards you. Now that's hard to do when we are suffering, or when we're focusing on suffering, which Buddha says it's a good thing to do. They talk about how the world is suffering, and I find that interesting because suffering is a state of isness. The more we become aware, the more our senses start kicking on, and those shifts of thought change for us. We sense movies more. We feel around us more. That's our emotional body wakening up. It can be startling, and when we don't recognize what it is at first, we'll attach to it, kind of like a child with a sippy cup. They draw comfort from what they think they're drawing their understanding or their wealth or their power or their abundance from, or they're not, hence the focusing on the suffering. When you focus on suffering, you can focus on, how did I get here? Where did I choose fear? Where did that moment where I sold myself out, where my higher self said, there, and we said, how about that way? Which is actually all leading to the same place. When we truly wish to learn something, we draw that lesson deep into our heart, and then we resonate with it. And that's where we spend our time. This morning's meditation kind of talks about that a bit. But when you're understanding what underlines your diseases, when you're deep in your emotional body, when you feel such rage, such bitterness and regret that you confront your beast. When you get to that point, think of all of the chi, all the time, all of the effort that you put into understanding what motivates. That's a lot of mental intellect. That's a lot of unified consciousness. And think of how many people over the centuries have done this. And we've not only done it individually, we've done it culturally, we've done it with shared belief patterns, we've done it with the flow of how our communities run, how our cities run, how our religious, spiritual beliefs, how our family dynamics run. All of that is braided into those deep emotional pits. You can think of them a bit esoterically like a black hole. You reach this bottom where you're dropped to your knees. And again, this is your higher self continuously in your environment through your past, your present, your future, internal, external, those deep emotions inside, those gentle taps outside, to those rushing waves outside, to all of them, all of those, that this is in a that's. When you get confronted with all of that, there's a point of harmony that you come to. And so that was make me think of, may all beings have happy minds. When you're standing there in turmoil and somebody, whether you know them or not, is silently sending you love, what is that doing to all of those ripples of chaos that you're holding around you? To all of those black tunnels that lead to epiphanies that you never can unsee again? We are harmonizing collectively. We all, at the very core of us, we don't want dysfunction. We don't want to cause harm. There is a ready for softness, for a ready for a new paradigm of understanding of cause and effect. As you start learning your little trips in life, you start learning how to skip with ease. And that's something that you draw great power from, because all of that power comes from internal. Never be afraid of your beast. There is divinity in you. There is goodness in you. And at all points, you're learning life with the best of your ability. And what you draw to you is everything you didn't know you couldn't handle that you wanted to learn to know, to handle, so that you can jump and skip with joy, with abundance, with fulfillment, with new moon energy. So, this video is for the new moon, and it's calling in the energies of that kind of serpentine, circular, meditative musings of my beautiful, cherished Saturday. 937. Okay. Yeah, I'm still in my PJs. We all have our ideas of fun. So the new moon is a time of clearance and of a clearing. It's a good time to burn sage or change change how you hold the new energies of the future. If thoughts are indeed things, then, you figured that out now and now and now and again, and with your last breath and with this breath and with all the things that you do with your life of doingness, then focus in on that vibration of that new. It can be a color, it can be a thought, a smell, a scent, a moment. And then gently brush aside any attachments. Whoever showed up for that moment, thank them for showing up, and then gently brush them away, because it's not about them at the moment. This is about you connecting to you and holding on to your center of truth. This is where that innate goodness steps in and wraps back into and onto yourself. Compassion. This is where you bring towards you a new joyous outlook, a new beginning, a new adventure, new abundance, new joy, a new way of understanding, of being, of sensing, of connecting. This is where you merge in with that image and you think all of the times you said yes, those were good choices. Each time you said yes, it was a good yes, and it was correct for you in your moment of now. And each time you said no, that was correct for you in your moment of now. For learning balance is both a yes and a no, and a feeling where you are internally to externally, and getting back to your breath and connecting to you, and realizing this is a game with yourself. And that you have complete control and balance and peace of pulling in that next energy. It can be a color, a shape, a face. See what pulls up. Thank it for showing up. Brush it aside gently. Don't let it come back. This is about you and you and you and you. Whoever's thinking about you, it's not about them right now. This is about you. Your connection with self and how clever you are. Obviously, you have some interesting energy around you, something that keeps trying to get your attention, keeps trying to say hello to your joy. But we're not talking about that right now. This is about you and connecting with you. That can be a shape, it can be a color, it can be a scent, it can be a sound, it can be a moment. A vibration of insight. 1333. Sorry. Yes, now feel to you the things that you love. Hold them all in the center of the space. It's okay, there's room for all of it. All of the things that bring you joy and abundance. A feeling of fluid in your bones, in your joints, in your breath, in your life. Breathe that in. Let it ease. Let that be what feeds you. Remove that which is less. Thank yourself for that merge. Now come back into your moment of now. Now we have a new moon coming. It's doing the special little trine in the air, and it's focused on Earth. I don't personally know how old you are. And even if I could guess, it wouldn't even come up to the correct number of your essence, to the sound of your vibrations, to the true numbers that you resonate in a sacred way. So we can say you're deeply connected to Earth. You're connected in a way that doesn't have a linear expression. You're connected in a way that she's always fed you. She's always nurtured you. She was birthed of the waters of consciousness. Yeah, all that unity shit that we just went through, that was a good merging, wasn't it? Yeah, well, anyways. Back to now. Back to your connection to Earth and consciousness. It kind of gives you a little bit of let there be light in waters before, where you think you're having a conversation or a knowing of your reality, and suddenly you realize, now I know more and now I know less than I did the day before. And you start learning to ride with the energies, that new wave of energies, that new merging of self, that new deeper understanding of external to internal. It's a beautiful process that we're all going in. Back to now. We are bringing in a new time, a new level of energetic awareness and ownership of all of us. And if you think back to all those times you said yes and you dilated, all those times that you were exactly where you wanted to be, exactly when you wanted to be there, and you were purposeful with that intent, all of those moments. That's from the new moon. Congratulate yourself down on a somatic level. Feel that that was the right choice. Every yes that I said, every yes that I followed, just that moment. Don't have attachments. No, 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 no. Think of that new moon, that new energy, that newness, that new awareness, and what that feels like is unknown. You haven't been there before. Just think of all of the ease that it took to get to here. Yeses and nos. It takes both of those equally. So allow yourself the yeses if you allow yourself the nos. Starting from that point, think of all your yeses and congratulate yourself. You said yes. And did you ever say yes? Don't be ashamed of that. Embrace your moment of yes. At the moment, you did what you felt was right. At the moment, you worked with what you had. Take your yeses. Let yourself relax into the awareness of that yes. Think of that new energy, that new moon, and whatever's coming, let it be a yes. Let it be a yes to new, to understanding, to a new you, to a deeper connection with self, with a centered of self, embodied, empowered yes. You know what felt good to all your yeses. That's why you're celebrating all those yeses. Now, let's step into all of those times you said no. Maybe not as much as you wanted. Maybe more than you wanted. Nope, we're not going from that point. We're going directly to that moment you said no. To that sacred time where you made a choice. And one of you said yes and one of you said no, but you said in your moment of no. Yeah, this opens up the throat. Oftentimes, we are sucked into believing we have to say no when we don't have to say no, where there's something wrong with reaching, with reaching for more. On a spiritual level, when we reach more spiritually, we get a little bit more strange, a little bit more estranged from our environment, and our environment gets a little less able to respond, able to us. Darkness covers their spiritual path. Lightness covers ours. We have a little tuffle with ourselves. And sometimes it ends up in a hanging or a choking or a stuck blue or a not speaking of authentic. Our heart, our physical 3D, very scientifically proven cardiac special muscles of our heart, our cardiac heart, it's shaped from the when a baby is born, its cardiac muscles is the heart's first. And from the heart grows the tongue. So when we get sucked dry, our tongue, our willpower to speak, to step into our power, into our authentic true power of self, it gets a little dry. I have noticed on a self-care level, juice really helps. I think it has something to do with the yang expression of the sun and helping your psychic abilities, psychic heart, cardiac, tongue, blue. Anyways, juice makes a difference. But let's talk about nose. Often when our nose hit us the most, it's when we think it should have been a yes, or we think it should have been whatever we think, we fill it in with regret and remorse. Regret, remorse, those are your sinkholes of emotional pits that can lead you through the birth canal. Hi, Mother Earth, Gaia. Hi, no. Everything we give to Earth, she creates anew. It's the power of the feminine. It's the power of the divine feminine. It's the power of woman. It's the power of creational life. It's the female embodied emotional, spiritual connection to self to give forth. Our no is with respect. And we treat our nose as such. Part of honoring female, part of honoring your daughter, your mother, your wife, your inner female, is understanding the power, the potency, and the beauty of your nose. Those are never with remorse. Sometimes we're pretty sure we should have said yes, and we can't understand at the time why it was a no. But something in our body somatically wasn't ready. It wasn't connected. It needed, something in us need a spiritual pause. When we say no, our breath catches. Again, that close up around the throat. And we cut ourselves off from our spiritual connection to flow. Heart, mind, heart, tongue connection. Authentic self-expression. All of that is the power of our no, the power of earth. Like a volcano rushing forward, like the spiritual essence or the braided sliver of lava. I don't know how to explain lava. I braid energies and I feel the essence of the elements. So when I think of fire and how fire moves and fire consumes all in its path, think again of those deep, dark remorse. Now fire also can be a good consumption. There's polarity to everything. Everything that's deep and dark, which is where I'm going at the moment because of our state of consciousness, can also be euphoric releasing of center of self of joy. And that is with understanding and honoring our no. And then that also helps you respect somebody's yes. Sometimes you don't know the cost somebody's had to show up for you. Or suddenly you sober up and you're like, oh, oops. And your no's shift to yeses and your yeses shift to no's. That's your 5 energy, by the way. Earth angels, 555s, your catalyst, your tower moments, your moment of chaos. That's 5. Anyways. Back to the gift of a no. Your no's are wrapped in divine grace, in the protection of the divine. We think of women, distrust of women, that they're doing something we don't understand, that they somehow make us feel uneasy, our distrust of the feminine. They speak behind our back. They choke us off from our essential flow and our ability to be self. 611 to 613. Sorry, refocus. I was braiding an energy and somebody snuck in. It was clever. We're all one in unity and numbers and anyways. 6 energies. That's your devil energy. I love my 6 energies. When you learn the power of your no's and your yeses and your balance, and how at the time you made the right decision. Go back to that moment where you shut that door, where you said no, and honor yourself again there. Good for you. Wherever that yes was going, a part of you, a spiritual part, walked that road. Wherever the no in you went, a part of you, a spiritual part, walked that road. Both of them led back to unity, to a moment of self, to deeper understanding, to a new paradoxical moment of now, to this new energy, to the moon energy pulling and pushing into the earth that you're standing on, that you're breathing from. Even when you're in an airplane, do you know you're still under the connection of earth? Even when you're convinced that you're flying alone, she's all around you. I mean, think of all of the effort men's consciousness has went to expressing its desire to reach earth. Surely earth would express back. And how would you feel that but in your DNA, in your physical body, in your physical form that is of divine, of divinity, of magnificence, of the seed of God, of consciousness, of the innate beauty that you are, of all of those yeses and all of those no's that brought you to your moment of now. 28, let's begin. Niasusha sutakusha sananamanano satakashuru manatasasaya tasatakusha sananamayanosa takaina manatusa. Yana manasa shasuta kushanana mananoya satasharadusha branaya no satakuyanaya. Yana moya susha sanana moya satakusha yanu yano moya tushe. Ya susha yanu yasu yasuai. Yeah, kuyanu asa shuhoyai. Honor all of those yeses. Kuyai. Yes, ashoy. Yahanuyai. Honor that sound of unity with each dilation, with each open breath, with each yes. Yohaya. Let that settle down into your bones. Let it loosen and open and relax. Think of your nose. Think of that feminine. Think of that emotional body. Think of that mountain that was held sacred, that paused, that waited, that held within you, that honored your space, your moment of knowing, your moment of now, your center of balance. Think of Mother Earth reaching up and connecting to you. Think of being encased in her awareness, being born of the waters of consciousness, cupped in the nature of the divine feminine, awakened to your needs, to your nurturing, opening to the frequency, to the moment of now. All of your no's bring you into that moment. Kuya noya satusha sanoya noya takuana sasha sutu kuya no sashano no moya no satadakusha satakana moyata. We bring in the power of the three. Noya tu sasha satakushana manana kuana sa tatakuna manatatakushina no satakushana yatatakushana yatu. The stability of a triangle. Kuena satakushuna manano no satakashuna no moyata takuya sashasa noya tatakusha. Yanoya sato yana moya noya takuya no noya te atuya sashusu tukushana niatate. Honor that. Uasatusha satakusha no mayano no nakoskusha no manano no ishatakosha no mayatosha. The part of yourself that you called to yourself. Yasashu satasha sataya no yasatoshusha na no no sha na 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 no no sha. Let whatever comes to mind float up. Brush that away to a sound. And think it for arriving. Definitely think it for arriving. Let there be light. There's always a seed for that. And brush it away. Let it be about you, your moment with you, your connection with you. That birth of creation, of you guiding you on this path, and your connection to your emotional self, your logical self. That inner star, that inner wisdom, that guidance, that flow. Feel the moon connect to the earth and to the birthing of all of that new and that awareness. 3307. I gotta go. Have a good day.